Good morning. We are here with Professor Kalinsky, Professor of Social Anthropology at East Michigan State University. He's researching about the economic structure of primitive tribes. We thank him for the invitation. So, Professor Kalinsky, how does this Nietzschean idea of lying, of almost the anti-truth, fit into the economic structure of Twain Wayne tribe?
Well, thanks for having me and the invitation to speak. When we look at the Nietzschean idea of a lie, more or less Nietzsche said to lie is an art. You can think of art in the sense of an artist, and the Dwayne Wayne Society really was, let's say, in tune almost with this Nietzschean idea of lying as an art. They considered it to be completely acceptable. There was no moral condemnation in Dwayne Wayne Society for lying. We know from Hutchinson's diaries that at weddings there was a contest of who could tell the most, even almost absurd lie, the greatest lie, and they were applauding each other and just having a grand old time. And we looked at this from an economic point of view. Our team, we kind of tried to dig into how could there be this duality with such an acceptance, a general acceptance of the art of lying, and then looking at it from an economic point of view, where we all know if you're going to make any sort of contract, even in a primitive tribe like the Dwayne Wayne, there was economic activity. There was trade going on between different members of the tribe. The tribe had reached numbers where you had to interact between families. And so imagine that you were trading a bear skin for some leopard teeth that you were going to make jewelry out of for your son's wedding or something. There had to be some basis of trust. But yet, we know that there was this incredible, just almost celebration of the art of lying. And this is what brought our team really deeper into the anthropological sense of how could this duality work? From our point of view economically, socially, well, obviously you cannot take away the social and the economic aspects. And this is really what we find intriguing about digging in and researching the Dwayne Wayne tribe. And of course, in the context of Hutchinson being there with this tribe, and we continue to explore and to write papers to really push forward our investigation, because we believe that there's something that we can learn from this duality.
Thank you, Professor Kalinsky. My second question is, do you think that the economic structure of Twain Wayne and their philosophical point of view is ingenious, or maybe childish or unuseful? Or maybe sometimes our economic system needs lies to continue. Is it ethical or not?
Well, I think you've chosen some interesting adjectives in the question. Ingenious, Dwayne Wayne, their economical structure. As I mentioned before, I think it was ingenious in the sense that they were able to have this duality, again, of accepting a lie, celebrating a lie being part of their fabric, a part of, let's say, a social celebration. But yet, economically speaking, they were able to know when to lie and when not to lie. Because we know from Hutchinson's diaries that there was a lot of trading going on between different tribe members. They, like many ancient tribes, what we would consider, it was obviously a very primitive life, but they lived quite well. There was a lot of economic activity going on. Childish? I mean, who decides what's childish? Again, we know from Hutchinson's diaries that there was a sense of humor, there was a lightness, there was a certain happiness, a certain celebration around lying. that Hutchinson, through his time living with the tribe, just found completely incredible. And in one sense, ethical. You asked me about the ethical aspect of it. Obviously, I think we're talking about difficult ethical constructs. Let me move to the last part of your question about our current economic system, and do we need to lie? I would say yes, and I think look at Bernie Madoff, look at marketing in general, look at the success of Apple. I'm not saying Apple is lying, but I mean, any of us in a modern world, we watch TV and we're bombarded with images. I mean, we know those images aren't true. We know there's a celebration of the cult of being thin, of being well dressed, of having an iPad, an iPhone. So again, I mean, I think this is what again drives our team anthropologically and sociologically to make parallels through primitive cultures like Dwayne Wayne and our own super postmodern, whatever name you want to give to the Western, or let's say the consumer society we live in. And this is what kind of drives us, again, this is what pushes us to study a culture like Dwayne Wade, and especially to read the diaries of Hutchinson, to look at these mental constructs, because obviously Hutchinson was a Scottish aristocrat. He's coming from what we would consider our way of looking at truth. And this is what, again, it's very dynamic for us, and we hope to continue forward with our research and to try to find parallels between our society now and with such a primitive culture. Let's say primitive in many ways, but this is what we see as interesting, and I really appreciate having the opportunity to be interviewed today. And thank you again.
Thank you, Professor Kalinsky. Have a nice day.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.